everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Sheck, where we continue to unpack, unfold, and share stories of what's happening in the Pakistan tech startup ecosystem. And today we have the pleasure of having with us Mr. Zain Farooq, the CEO of MyTM. Zain, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Farooq, for having me at the show.
You're very welcome. And with that, as we do Tech Sheck style, let's jump right in. Zain, what's MyTM all about?
So MyTM is an abbreviation for My Teller Machine. So basically, we bring in the word My because we wanted to give people a sense of ownership. A lot of people were actually confusing this with PayTM, which is in India, and that means pay through mobile. So My Teller Machine is what MyTM is, and it's not pay through mobile. And our main concept, or you can say the main mission that we are working on, is to give access to finance to a common man.
Okay.
And
very
because
cool.
finance is something that everybody wants, and we are talking about the 5th largest population in the world, the 3rd largest youngest population in the world.
Excellent, excellent. So tell us a little more about MyTM. How does it all work?
So you see, in Pakistan, you're talking about 120 million adult population. And then out of that, 75 million is living in the rural areas where nobody is actually, putting their concentration. 45 million that is living in the urban areas is where all the concentration is. Pakistan is a big market when it comes to credit, but then the state bank in Pakistan is actually giving such good interest rates to the banks that they are very reluctant to lend money to people. Now, the function of the bank is to lend money. If they lend money, they make money. They don't lend money, they don't make money. So what we wanted to bring in to the Pakistan ecosystem was that the $50 billion cash-based economy that we have in Pakistan at the moment. By cash-based economy, I mean that in the form of cash, $50 billion is being rotated in the economy in Pakistan, in the market. And we want people to trust the banks and put this money back into the banks so the banks can be able to confidently lend the money to people. Now, again, there is always a risk of recovery. So MyTM made a secret sauce where we assure to the banks that the money you will lend, you will actually get back that money. And we brought in an Islamic concept. So we came up with the concept of Islamic fintech. Recently, we were also accepted as the first Islamic fintech from Pakistan to be accepted in the Islamic fintech network worldwide for alternative financing.
Okay.
So we encourage people not to go for cash, but actually borrow money in the form of commodity.
Okay.
That includes a common man as well as a medium, small, or micro enterprise.
Got it. And so is this entire process of lending and securing against commodities, is this all automated?
Okay, so this is where the interesting part comes in. You see, we are linking ourselves to multiple banks. And with that in mind, we are also bringing in non-banking financing companies who are offering better rates.
Okay.
Now, how do we secure that is that we are onboarding shops. You see, in Pakistan, the biggest problem is that for 13,000 individuals, there is only one bank branch, which is very, very low as per international standards. And people are usually scared to go to the bank. They are scared of the complicated KYCs. So where do they end up when they need money? They end up with the loan sharks. Now, these loan sharks basically can charge you 100 to 200% per year on the amount that they give you.
Right.
And because the literacy rate in Pakistan is only 60%, we have to keep that in mind as well. Whatever most of the banks or fintechs are doing right now in Pakistan, they're concentrating on that 36.6 million banked population. Right. Nobody's thinking about the remaining 90 million population that is actually capable of being a part of this ecosystem, of this financial ecosystem. So our main concept, or you can say main aim when we started this, was to go for financial inclusion, youth empowerment, especially looking at how we can bring in the female financial inclusion concept, which only stands at 7% in Pakistan.
Okay. So help me understand then, where is the revenue for you? How does MyTM make money in this situation?
Okay. Perfect question. You see, this is where the game is. Now, we have a settlement bank. We have a CASA account of a bank, right? So this is an Islamic Microfinance Bank, National Rural Support Program, NRSP. This bank has a portfolio. It has 45 billion rupees of deposits, and they have experience of lending money, of borrowing money out. They have already borrowed 29 billion rupees to 336,000 registered people or registered borrowers. Now, their recovery rate is far above 98%. Even NBFCs in Pakistan have recovery rates of over 99%. Right. So you see, the reputation is very important of the market before anybody comes in and invests. Now, the money that we are borrowing to these people, we are basically only the front end. These people, instead of going to the banks, can go to the MyTM-enabled shops all over Pakistan. Right now, we just have 300 because it's a pilot that we are performing at the moment. So they can go to a shop and they tell the shopkeeper in their local language that I want to apply for a loan because I want to maybe pay my electricity bill, pay the school fee of my kid, pay the rent of my house, or maybe buy some commodity. I want to marry my girl. So they go with these issues. Once they're given the information, this information is now passed to the banks and to the NBFCs. Now the banks and the NBFCs then go for the due diligence, and if the loan is then accepted, or it can be credited, this person will go to the same shop to open a bank account.
Understood.
Yes. So he will register himself, open a bank account. He will receive the ATM card right on that shop, and he will be repaying back the loans on that shop as well.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like an end-to-end solution. We are basically enabling shops to work as banking correspondents for these people. And in this way, a bank can reach many places. So we want to become the aggregator to give out loans to these people. And then with this money that they get, they can also pay the bills for electricity. They can pay the top-up bills, top-up mobile phone bills. They can pay. They can send money over the counter to another city, to another bank. 14 banks at the moment, and just on that shop. So a bank is working between 9 to 6 or 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. We are now expanding it like till the shop is open, the business is on.
Understood.
So we are gamifying the process. These people don't need a mobile phone or an Android phone. They just have a normal analog phone. That's all. So they can even buy bus tickets and air tickets and also railway tickets at this very shop on cash. And they will receive an SMS in the form of a ticket, and then they can just go to the bus station or the airport and they can just travel. So we're creating underwriting engines where we can actually start documenting the spending of a common man. And then once they are ready to download our app, our user app, they can link that very card to our app, and all the spending that he has ever done, even before he downloaded the app, will all be uploaded in that system. So that makes us more confident whether to go for a second round of financing to him or the third round and the fourth round.
Understood. And so again, just to clarify, then your revenue model for MyTM would be taking margins against all of the transactions that are happening?
Yes, very, very true. It's like money deposit, money dispersal, loan approval, account opening, bill payment, mobile top-ups, and then also over-the-counter payments, cash withdrawal, cash deposit. So these are very small transactions, which might look very small, but they're all documented. And then the shopkeepers that we're working with, they are also registered as taxpayers. We don't work with non-taxpayer shopkeepers.
Got it. Interesting. And from what I'm understanding, based on what you were describing, would you be partnering with other entities to provide these services, like travel portals? And you mentioned something to me that sounded very much like a Kuwait, right?
You're very, very correct.
Yeah.
So yes, that is why I talked about non-banking financing companies. Okay. So Ahuwat is a non-banking financing company as well. Now, the rates that they offer are the best. Now, we won't say that it's in trust. No, they're going with takaful. And that is what we want to promote, because that's a very big socioeconomic factor in Pakistan. You see, when people hear the word in trust, even a person who does not understand banking, he's like, oh no, I'm not going to pay it. He doesn't even know what it is. You see, so there is an awareness lack over here. So we needed to create awareness, and we cannot set up institutions everywhere in Pakistan. So we thought that shopkeepers are the best people who can actually start educating their, their public that they already have, or their customers that they already have, and start giving them the opportunities. Because shopkeeper is one person in a small city or in a big city who you meet at least twice, thrice, 4 times a month. So, there's a kind of a recognition that you have, there's a connection that you develop. And even when institutions like Afuwat, they are giving out loans, they actually go to the shopkeepers to go for confirmations, because shopkeepers know people. So I think empowering these medium and small enterprises can actually help the country's, can actually help alleviate the country's economic condition. Because when you empower these people can actually increase their sales. Because when they are offering loans to common people, we are also giving them this opportunity that we can give you commodity-based lending. So if you want a supply of Coca-Cola, you want a supply of Lay's, you want a supply of Pampers, we can get you the commodity, and we can pay to the distributor so that he can facilitate you, and then you have to pay it back to us. So this is where the system is. This is how we are enabling the system. So the secret sauce lies in this circle. That how we assure the banks that the money they lend is good, and how we make sure that the bank's rejection rate of 90% goes down to at least 70% in the next 2 years. That is what we are targeting.
Great, good. Thank you. Very interesting concept. And as you know, we try to keep TechSheck pretty brief. So last question, what are you looking for from the diaspora?
Okay, so actually the diaspora has been very supportive after we won, but before that it was pretty you can say challenging, because we have been rejected by over 600 investors. That's on record in the last 2 years. And the reason why it was like this is that fintech cannot be Islamic technically, but then again, Islamic banking is now getting a lot of promotion because it's the most money-making business right now not in Pakistan, but all around the world.
Sure.
But it is complicated because it is very near to you find a lot of critique on it. And what we want to do is to make sure that if I am leading this, I want to be a certified Islamic banking professional. And that's what I'm working on nowadays. Like being an oncologist and then going back to school to reskill myself, that is something very challenging. But I'm trying to make sure that I do that. And, leading a team with a vision, we need to make sure that we are honest to the customers. Because, again, we have consumers, and then we have customers as well. And we also have stakeholders, we have partners. So we are right now in the process of due diligence. We are trying to raise a nominal amount of funding, because we also don't believe in big investments, because again, it's borrowing money. And when you're borrowing money, then you're indebted. So the best way is always to stabilize your own self. And we have not been in profit, as we have not been able to fully launch it, because we're talking about millions in transactions per month. So we want to protect the system. We want to make the tech more secure. That is why we are working with banks, and these banks are regulated by the State Bank of Pakistan. So they're teaching us a lot. So the diaspora, I think, is what I expect from the diaspora is to support us with the technology funds, to support us with the learning, to support us with the progress that we can actually make as entrepreneurs in the society. We want to be the next unicorn of Pakistan, but to do that, we cannot do it alone. We need to go for collaborations, and we have already done a lot of collaboration with National Institute of Financial Technologies, Blink, NRSP banks, Rentrax, and we are also going with a lot of local players. We are in talks with multiple banks, and we are very happy that even the telecom companies are supporting us, and they're now considering us as potential players in the market who should at least get an acceptance as the first or as the leading Islamic fintech in Pakistan.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Zain. That's a very interesting concept, and you went into a lot of detail. I'm curious to see how it continues to unfold. So thank you for being on the show with us.
Thank you very much, Farooq. I am deeply honored. I'm deeply humbled because I know TechSheck is one of those platforms who are helping people like us to promote. And I will never forget this moment that we are having over here, as I think these kind of promotions not only just help startups but actually give confidence to startups that they exist, and the power of a vision can actually be a reality. So thank you very much again for having me.
Thank you for your compliments, and we really enjoy talking to folks like yourself and learning about good things that are happening in Pakistan, with the ulterior wish that Pakistan improves, our economy improves, the lives of our people there improve. So that's the straightforward ask. And with that, to our audience, thank you very much for supporting us. As you can see, we've now crossed 90 episodes. We bring you continually stories like this. So please continue, like, share, subscribe. And with that, I bid you all Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.